How's it going?
What's up? What's up?
Because wounds. There were wounds.
Yeah, no, you know
Apparently,
what?
I'm not allowed. But my wife goes, "You never call me Melissa. You only call me Mel. You only call me girly. You should call me Melissa more. Call her Melissa. She thinks I'm fucking angry at her.
Well, maybe because you only call me Melissa when you're angry at me.
I call you Melissa Helen when I'm fucking angry at you, woman.
Okay, full disclosure. Whenever Katie goes, Abigail Helen, I'm like, it's the Helen part that gets me, and it's the same cadence, Melissa, Abigail. It just
It
brings
also,
back flashbacks.
The other thing I like to do too, to like go and right proper upset with her, is I call her one of our two mothers' names. I'll be like, sure thing, Bernie, or whatever you say, Jan.
I do that to Carly sometimes. I'm like, okay, Dorian.
Motherfucker.
And that goes over exceptionally well, doesn't it?
You
It
guys
goes over
notice-
exceptionally well. I mean, that's the best way to communicate with your spouse. Absolutely.
So, do you guys notice that I have extra flags?
Yes, I do notice you have extra flags.
Yep. So, Kenny's looking for the DC flag. I have no idea where it is, Ken.
Kenny or Keith?
Keith.
Keith. Yeah, there we go. Well, tells you what he offered to the tailgate. Oh, so did I say that loud?
You're such an asshole. And then Lindsay's like, do you know where the Maryland Lions one is? Oh, it's right there.
That's right there.
So, yeah, you
got
guys
you,
want
girl.
it? Come get it.
So where do those go, Melissa? Sorry, I didn't want to
Right
make you
here
cry
on the wall
again.
behind me, guys. Until we have our first game, I suppose. And
Yeah,
then I guess
first watch party.
I got to bring it back. Holy shit, we've got 5 people watching.
Holy shit. Hey, everybody, how's it going?
All right.
I guess we should probably do a fucking show then.
start it then.
Let's
Yeah.
not piss off all those new listeners. You guys met and impressed. Now it's time to disappoint them.
Well done.
Hold on, I forgot to set up Audacity. Give me a second.
Okay, well, I'm going to drink more beer.
Yeah, okay. I'm waiting on you, Houston.
Well, you going to hit record? Mm-hmm. You're already doing better than me.
You know, I love it. Yeah. See this button right here?
You see, Graham? I can bring the funny too. Suck my cock.
See, right now,
It's harsh. I didn't say anything.
it's green.
I know what you were thinking.
You want to press it.
Yeah, but it was really bright outside, and it just all looked white. All the buttons looked white.
That's true.
You could see the board. You could see dick out there.
There's your excuse.
I actually prefer to call it mansplaining because I understand what's going on, and I just need to explain to you exactly what was going on. So do you understand from the perspective of a male, which is the right way? I can't even do it straight.
It's brilliant. We didn't have an intro either. Does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter. I was gonna
Just throwing caution to the wind here, huh?
Well, I was going to hit Lars's intro because, Leeds was supposed to be at the Summer Series, but whoa, they weren't. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the Villa Fulham tailgate as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and with me as always, my co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham, full pwned, and the Villanisa producer herself, Mel.
Hey.
How we doing, gang? I figured I'd talk to you as a collective since this is a collective show.
Still recovering. Oh, my Lord.
Big time.
I was going to say,
Big time still recovering.
We all woke up this morning and I went, fuck.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was really, and
It was rough.
I barely drank and my body is aching.
I drank, and I drank a lot more when I got home. I
Yeah.
kept going. Wasn't great.
I mean, that's on brand for you. That
Yeah.
is definitely on brand.
By
for
the
you.
end of the night, it wasn't great.
Yeah. And now Mel's playing hurt as well. So
Yeah, well, I was so excited I didn't sleep much the night before, and then was so excited after, didn't fall asleep. And then on my feet too much, and I flamed tendon, crutches. So
Well, at least you woke up joyous, happy, and not angry awake like I did on the 3rd of July. So, I mean, you're not doing bad.
Nope. And so I'm going to drink the pain away.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcast, and we stream live every single Monday. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. We are at DU Football Show on all the social medias, and then at DU Football Show at gmail.com to get in touch via email. Thank God it is preseason.
still the preseason. Big shout out to everyone that attended the tailgate. And if you are checking us out for the first time, I insist, for fuck's sake, I demand it. Make sure you reach out to us, man. Let us know what you thought of the show.
Email.
Even it was like, oh yeah, y'all suck a bunch of dicks. Don't like you. Don't care. Want to hear from you.
Good impressions. Make good impressions, lads.
Because I know that's not what we're gonna hear. But I want to hear from everybody. Let us know what you think.
They might say that to me.
Yeah. No, you're the charming one. I'm the one that sat in the
That's
corner
true.
the whole fucking time.
You know what? That's why I'm so tired. Is I was fucking on yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I was on the whole time.
One of these days, both of the two of you will realize you don't have to fly and fly around the entire room and talk to everybody. When you're that damn important like me, they'll fucking come to you. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, we are drinking a fun little whiskey today, and there's a little story behind it as well.
Yes, there is. One of the Villa supporters that comes from Pennsylvania brought this down for us.
Matthew.
It was freaking delicious as well. This is Stoll and Wolf Distillery, which is in Pennsylvania. Obviously, it's a 90 proof rye whiskey. I don't know what it costs on the shelf, but in the Ultimate Spirits Challenge of 2020, they received a 95 points, and I can absolutely see why.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I sent you a picture of it, but I can tell you the mash bill, you were asking about it yesterday. Reason why it's got a lot of sweetness behind it.
The high corn?
60% rye, 30% corn, 10% malted barley. Yep. Very much that when we talk about rye in this area, rye would be very much mixed with a lot of corn, especially near that Maryland-Pennsylvania border. When you got deeper into the west of Pennsylvania, it would be a lot more just 100% rye, a lot more peppery. But around this area, it would be a lot more kind of softer, a little bit more rounder, a little bit more approachable, right?
This definitely is.
Yeah, it's a lovely little rye.
But you still get enough of that pepper finish. It is nice. Yeah. I enjoy it.
Yeah, you definitely get that cinnamon pepper bite on the front end, but a really nice round sweetness to it too. A touch young. I'd like to see it at 3 years. And what Matthew was telling me that prior to COVID, they had a bunch of 3-year-old juice and everybody fucking bought it.
Right.
So it all went away, and you got to keep up with try to keep up with the Joneses and keep cranking out whiskey. So right now it's a little younger, but so they're just outside of Lancaster, and it's not Lancaster, it's Lancaster, and then right next to that
I thought
town,
it was Lancaster.
No, it's Lancaster. Thank you very much. Ask
Then why is it spelled Lancaster?
It's Lancaster. Shut the fuck up. And they'll all defend it,
God
too.
Damn.
And also,
you're on fire today.
And also, right next to it is Lebanon. Not Lebanon, Lebanon.
Oh, where the bologna's from.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the bologna.
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 But that's also where my mom's younger sister, my Aunt Max, lives in Lebanon. So the next time I go up to visit her, I'm definitely going to check out this distillery. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely my favorite aunt on your side of the family.
She's the only one that's alive.
And still my favorite.
You also never met Mary Kay either, though.
And still Max is my favorite.
Do they, I can't think of a town in Lebanon.
Lebanon, thank you very much.
No, in real Lebanon. I was going to try to make a fucking joke about the street she lived on. Maybe it was like Damascus or something. Yeah. Nope, fucked it.
Nope, joke over.
Completely fucked it.
Alrighty, kids, let's have a great show. Let's get into it. Come on.
Cheers.
It made a dink. It made a dink. So we start our weekend on Friday as producer Mel actually got to go to an Aston Villa fan meetup.
Oh my gosh.
Couple of surprise guests, right?
It was, I walked in, was meeting up with Lindsay and Cole, and I walked in, I was there a little bit before both of them, and I immediately was like, holy shit, there's like 30 Villa fans here. I mean, more were coming, but I had only previously ever been in a room with 5, 6.
Right.
Where was it?
It was at Penn Social in DC.
Cool. Yeah.
Kind of cool. I parked right across the street from Sam's old nightclub.
Oh, awesome. I love it.
Sent him a picture for nostalgia. I knew exactly where I was. And yeah, walked in and then met up with Lindsay and Cole. I was drinking some Guinnesses and we were chatting. And there was no, hey, we're starting. There was no nothing. We just look over and in from the side door, in walks John McGinn and Tyrone Mings.
Nice.
How about that? Because normally with the fan meetups, it's ex-players that are coming over and kind of doing, fan
Like Ray
engagement.
Parler last summer.
Yep.
Where he fucking hammered.
Leon Osmond and Tim Howard for
Yeah.
us last summer.
Yeah, exactly.
And you had a former player. You had Elmo. El
Yes,
Mohammadi
Elmo
was
was
there.
there.
You don't normally have, like, the Men in Blazers show had a bunch of the players for Everton, but that's because it was a Men in Blazers show. It
Right,
wasn't
right.
just like a fan meet and greet,
Right.
So that is exceptionally cool that you got to
Yeah.
have the players there.
Oh, yeah. And the guy, okay, admittedly, the guy asking questions was not very good. I don't know where they found this guy, where he came from, what he was there with. He and his fanny pack were there towards the end, and nobody was really talking to him. And
He had a fanny pack?
oh, yeah, yeah.
That's a
yeah.
bold
I'm sorry,
move.
a bum bag?
A bum bag. Yeah, they call them bum bags.
A bum bag? I didn't
That's a
think about
bold
it.
move.
That bum bag was probably just above his tramp
Yeah.
stamp. Because remember, English people, the skinniest of jeans, tramp stamps, and bum packs. Like, just they like to question what we do.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But yeah, I am happy to report Tyrone Mings is just as beautiful in person as he is on camera, and he is twice as nice.
That doesn't matter. You know what matters.
Oh, well, I definitely.
Tell us about the ass.
Definitely.
How quality
John
is
McGinn was
McGinn's ass?
coming down the line, and I'm first there. Like I'm getting the hug and the picture, and while he's there, I'm going, well, what would our listeners like? And so I start snapping pictures of that ass.
Yes, that's exactly what we want pictures of. Sorry, Ashley, not the best ass. And we talked about this in the
yeah.
parking lot. Not the best ass in the business.
Yeah.
Everybody there was like, yeah, McGinn's ass is way better than
Yeah.
Ashley's.
100%.
Definitely, I think he saw me doing that and then stuck it out, and that's the picture I posted in the football show group. But I got a lovely photo with him, and then got a hug, and I whispered in his ear, "Your shithousery is my favorite." Made him snort. I don't think he expected me to say that.
No, and that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about foreplay talk to a Scotsman? Your shit house
Yeah.
is my. I mean, you're hitting the G spot right there for a Scotsman. A Scotsman's
I said it in the voice.
yeah, that a girl. Well done.
Strangely, I forgot my wedding rings that night, so
Did you call him the Glaswegian Kardashian?
no, I should have.
Oh, there we go.
I didn't think about it till
Glaswegian
later.
Kardashian. He probably would have stuck the ass out
yeah.
even further for
That's
you.
it.
And then Cole
Could
and
have
I
set
got
a drink on it.
Yep.
Give him a bottle of champagne to
Pop it
recreate the
off.
photo
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
broke the internet.
He would have done it masterfully.
But Lindsay definitely got a picture with Mings, and she had
Awesome.
already tweeted at Mings, you know, hey, the Maryland Lions ladies love you. Come find us in the stands. And we'll talk about that when we get to that part
Oh
of our
my
day.
God, so incredible, so incredible. And then you and Cole just decided to start working the room,
Well,
apparently, right?
Nicole is I love Nicole. She is an introvert, admittedly so. Mm-hmm. And me, well, I'm a social dragonfly. I
Yeah.
like to go around.
You run around the room.
And I'm watching because Lindsay's there, you know, as a fan, I'm a supporter, and she's there as the chair of the Maryland Lions
Right.
Club, and she's got people she needs to see and talk to. And so I'm not cramping her style by following her around. And so I looked at Cole, I'm like, let's go work the room. And so we just start going up to tables. Hi, I'm Melissa. This is Nicole. Where are you guys from? First table, Maryland. Well, great. I was like, more exotic, but met a couple fans from Salisbury
Oh, very good. Excellent.
and a couple from Wisconsin and Seattle and Chicago, and it was just incredible. So that was the day one of our adventurous weekend.
Maybe the first time Birmingham's ever been described as exotic, by the way.
Well, you know,
There were a lot of people there that came in from England, and a bunch that came from Birmingham. One guy, and we never even saw him at the tailgate. He was like, "Oh, you're producer Mel. You putting on the tailgate? Thank you. Can I donate?" Well, sure. Here's $50. I'm like, "Great. What do you like to drink?" "I like ciders." "Excellent. Cole, here's $50.
go buy all the
some
ciders
ciders,
you can.
yeah.
Go buy all the ciders." And she did. And guy never even came by. He just wanted to help donate and give to the collective, which there was
still
a
lovely,
lot
yeah.
of that. A lot of people.
Oh, my God,
Slipping
yes.
cash, Venmoing. What can we bring? I'm like, ice. That'd be great. And then afterwards, Cole and I had to go to the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah.
To
This is
pick
an
up the
interesting
beer.
place to do a drug deal. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, beer deal.
Yeah. So our new friend Mike, he and his family came up from Pineville, North Carolina. They own Middle James River Brewing Company. And he came up with, he sent me a message. "Hey, can I donate 10 or so cases of beer?"
Ended up being 12.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
no, you can't. No, we
don't like free beer.
No, free beer would be awful.
yeah. It's like,
You
I just,
don't know the DU football show,
just
apparently.
need you to meet me to come pick it up. No problem. So we drove over to the Ritz-Carlton in Georgetown, and Valet had it out there waiting for us. And it's great. Valet must have trusted us because Cole and I pulled up like, "Yo, that's our beer." I'm like, "Okay," and started putting it in our car. I texted Mike and go, "Hey, Valet's putting your beer into some rando's car, dude."
That's
funny.
brilliant.
And then we're all just hanging out. Next thing I know, the Ritz-Carlton Valet guy's just handing us cold bottles of water. And it's just like, oh,
That's what happens
Pamper
when you
me.
stay at a 4-star
That's what
hotel.
happens with,
That's how they do
when you
that
have
shit.
money.
They open the door for you. They grab their bags for you. It's very, trust me, the beauty of being a supplier is you have an expense account. And when you have an expense account,
Yeah.
you stay at the nice hotel.
it was-
and they do everything for you. And it's very lovely.
and we think that's where the team was staying, but I don't have confirmation that anybody actually saw players.
It's where Everton stayed. It's kind of right there in the heart of Georgetown.
Yeah.
It's easy to get to shit.
Well, and Douglas-
most teams stay there.
I mean, it's
Douglas
DC. It's not
Louise.
easy to get to anything.
Douglas Louise was tweeting out thirst traps, so we definitely could verify the carpet.
Nice.
Love it. The one thing we do want to mention, we did pull aside one beer of each of the 5 different selections that Mike and Lee had given us. We are going to do them the very first week of the season. So next week we do our little 20 for 20 show. But the first week of proper football, we're not going to have whiskey. What we're going to have is
those
those
5
5
beers, yeah.
beers. And we're going to talk about them. We want to make sure that we give them the proper respect that they deserve because they were kind enough to donate them. And boy, they didn't last long.
No, they did not last long. And I've reserved the right to slag them off if I don't like it.
We also discovered a fun little connection. Mike is friends with Hitch, that is owner of the Annapolis Blues and who's been in the podcast here for
Been
Naptown
here in the
Blues.
studios for the Naptown Blues.
And
Fantastic.
yeah, turns out Mike's friends with Hitch and owns a piece of the Charlotte team.
Yep.
So we also had that connection.
No wonder he stayed at the Ritz.
And
Yeah.
one of the beers that we were drinking was the Charlotte beer, the one that they had the most of, the green can.
Yeah.
That is the beer for the Charlotte Club
Yeah.
down there.
Okay.
So that
So
was really
cool.
great too.
Forgot to put one in Mike's hand, but we did go and buy a couple cases of the Keeper's Kolsch. And so hopefully Mike got that. If not, we'll see him again.
One of his brewers was
Was there, yeah.
and I know he had the
Good,
Keeper's
good,
Kolsch.
good,
I
good,
know
good.
he did for a fact. So very good. Well, then on to Saturday. And we're getting all this generous help from people to make sure that we're able to pull this thing off. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what? Groceries ain't going to buy themselves.
No.
Nope. Groceries tend to not do that.
No, it's a good thing I have that Sam's Club membership.
And we kept adding to it. It was like, okay, so we got 150 hot dogs. Mel's like, there's 100 people confirmed coming, which whenever you see that just double the number.
Yeah.
And it was more than that.
Yeah, I reckon it's probably
massive.
between 250, 300 people.
Yeah.
Easily. Because then there was just people that just came in
That
and
just
joined
saw
the party.
what we were doing, and just walked over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yes.
Which we hot dogs did all go eventually.
All the hot dogs, all the hamburgers
But
went.
there was still some chips and cookies and snacks and a few sodas left over at the end of it. So there was still food to grab.
Yeah. No alcohol left.
No.
We'll talk
We'll
a little
get
bit
to
of
that
that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
oh my
no,
God.
I'm at Sam's Club with one of those big ass, pushy carts and just filling it up and going, think I need more. I'm going back, getting more hot dogs, more buns, like 200 bags of chips. Decided we needed some sort of, I don't know, healthy option. No way I was going to buy one of those fruit trays.
No.
First of all, nobody ever does the little tiny blueberries. People like blueberries like in the regular days, but never off a fruit tray.
No.
Nobody ever does the cantaloupe or the melon on a veggie tray.
Oh,
Nobody's-
honeydew can fuck
Oh,
itself.
yeah. Well, and
I don't like honeydew.
50-50 whether people are going to fuck with the broccoli or the cauliflower, but nobody ever fucks with the cherry tomatoes. Okay.
I love a cherry tomato.
One or two people. As soon as I
Yes.
said nobody, I knew there'd be an exception. I do too, but that is always what's left.
Well,
And
they're
so I'm
hard to
like,
stab.
They're
Those
just-
little roly things are hard to
not-
stab.
It's good in, again, like blueberries in your day to day, but not on your fruit tray.
I always get frustrated and end up just reaching for it instead of using a toothpick
Yep.
anyway, and then I get inevitably caught and somebody yells at me.
And that's what I went for was grabbable stuff.
What's funny is celery can completely fuck off in 90% of the things in this world, but on a veggie tray, like
yeah.
celery's the rock star because you're
On
just
a
like,
hot day.
because you're like celery, ranch dip, celery, blue cheese dip, perfect. And it's
Yeah.
just
Celery
like,
got.
celery is like the king, the shittiest of all the vegetables.
Somebody said it's like
90% water, and it's somehow the king.
it's celery if you want water with hair in it.
Yeah,
you know.
but you can dip it in ranch and you eat the shit
Yep,
out of
and
it
we had,
when you
we
have
had a
it.
squirtable ranch thing, so nobody's double dipping. And and those sweet peppers.
Squirtable ranch, there's a word.
And then for the fruit part, I figured grapes was easy and grabbable, some clementines and strawberries.
Strawberries, yep. Nice and simple.
And
nice
then
and
there
simple.
you go. Put it out, and gosh, that all went.
Yeah.
And then I think I
Wow.
bought like 250 bags of chips, assorted, and Cheetos and Fritos.
All kinds of
and
stuff.
All of it.
Here's the other crazy thing because what
Lindsay brought cookies.
so what
Yep. I saw those over there.
what I
They
think
ended up on the
really
whiskey
needs to be
table.
kind of talked about in this Mel, I just have it saying prepping and setup is all that's listed, but worth mentioning. This was ultimately you and Jay Blankenship for the most part, like 100% two people figuring out.
All of
We
it.
don't know how many people are coming. How much shit do we need? What are you bringing? What am I bringing? How are we setting this up? What parking lot are we going to be in? How is that all going to
Yeah.
work out? And we didn't really know until the day before.
And
like that's
Yeah.
just how it was.
I don't want it to sound like a hardship because Jay and I were happy to take over. I'm an event planner. I like organizing stuff and bringing stuff together, and it made me less stressed to be in charge. And then Jay was like, yeah, more the merrier. Whoever comes, great. And we're going back and forth and trying to coordinate with our own respective clubs. And I got to say, for the snack prep with Mel, I like that, Russ.
Yeah.
For the event, it was great seeing so many people walk up and go, can I give you money?
Yeah. Also, shout out to the fucking Annapolis Blues, the Bay Boys.
Yeah.
Like, Paulie immediately were like, can we use your grill? Yeah, here's my grill. Here's charcoal. Here's chimney starters. Here's food we had left over.
And here's 5,000 tortillas.
that we still can never figure out what the fuck to do with.
I did buy a thing of Mexican cheese, and I'm assuming it got used. I never saw it again.
Kinda, mostly just to make cheeseburgers. I just don't think the tortilla thing ever happened. But it was.
You mean Jay couldn't do char grilled quesadillas over there?
Yeah, I mean.
Jay was in the heat doing all of that grilling. I'm walking around, people go, oh, Mel, thanks, Mel, thanks, Mel, thanks, Mel. Meanwhile, Jay, it was technically...
pouring buckets of sweat
Sweat,
over a
just
grill.
dying, yeah.
Technically, this tailgate was Jay's idea that we just ran with.
Yeah, absolutely. And it
was so worth it, though. It was so
it was
fucking
time.
worth it.
Like I said, we're gonna get to more of the stuff of the day of the tailgate. But the other really fun thing to mention on Saturday is Fulham did their meetup, and it was so awesome that Everton great Brian McBride showed up to hang out with them. Just kidding. It's Brian obviously played 140 matches with Fulham. 8 glorious appearances with Everton, in which he scored 4. Thank you very much. 50%
He scored a
goal
hat
rate.
full of goals at Fulham.
Oh,
though.
yes, he did. And also worth mentioning, he is number 5 all time for the United States for goals. Oh, and he got there, and one of the guys, the tall, fair-skinned blonde guy that you thought might have been a redhead, but he had blonde hair, the real tall guy.
Okay, yeah.
He had a picture of him and Brian McBride when he was 6 years old and like came up to just underneath his
that's
chest.
cool.
And
That's
then took a picture
adorable.
of him where he's towering over them by a foot.
That's pretty good.
That is absolutely fantastic.
That's awesome.
And just but it's awesome to hear that each group had really awesome meetups. A lot of people attended those meetups, and that's what I think is ultimately important, is that you're fostering and building this community, especially for the 14 of us afterwards, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
There's the 6, and then there's the other 14. And what you want to see is to start to see that buildup of just love and culture and fun. You know, it's
Absolutely.
really good.
Cole was having her Villanista dream weekend.
Oh, yeah. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It really was.
I was working on prep, so I wasn't able to do the crab feast with the fans, but someone set up a crab feast, and there was about 30 people that went. And tales of the crab feast, you had the British contingency that were super excited to experience this regional cultural event.
Yeah, you want to do something that's
picking
very
crabs, yeah.
Picking
specifically
crabs, yeah.
DMV, even more so Maryland.
That's
the thing.
part of our culture.
Yes.
Then you had the Seattle fans, less than impressed, apparently. We
Yeah.
get it. Your Dungeness crabs are huge.
I'm
you
not
gotta-
I'm
you-
not
but
a
you gotta
fan
drench
of a
them in-
Dungeness crab,
Gotta
really.
drench them in garlic butter. How good are they?
Yeah, exactly.
Here's how I explained it to one of the Brits that was telling us that the Seattle fans like kept talking about their Dungeness. I go, yeah, here's the biggest difference. They can't go out and catch their own crabs. Maryland, and the guy was like fascinated. He was like, what? And so Cole and I were talking about how there's either somebody in your neighborhood that does it, or a boat, or you can go out on your own
Oh, yeah.
pier like my brother-in-law does. Put the chicken necks down and catch your own crabs. You can't do that with Dungeness. Well, you can if you're John Benson, but
Right.
everybody else
exactly.
can't do
International
that.
Man of Mystery. All you do is wrap a string around a chicken leg and throw it off the edge of a pier, and you can catch
crabs.
blue crabs in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it goes. But yeah, it was really, really amazing. So let's go ahead and move on to just the meat and potatoes, the day of the event. That promptly started at 5:30 in the fucking morning.
I
Which
do
is-
love sunrise.
That's only an hour after I went to bed the night prior, because I was my family had power outages, and with all them kids, and Saturday was so hot, so my stepbrother, my sister-in-law, my stepmother, their 5 children, my nieces and nephew, and then my brother and my sister.
I was gonna say your one brother and his family are getting ready to leave.
They're
the
moving,
area,
yeah. So
yeah.
they ended up coming over and spending the night. But Heather had to make, my sister-in-law had to make cakes for an event they had on Sunday because there was no power. They couldn't turn their oven on, so it hadn't been done. So I stayed up with her until 4 a.m. making carrot cakes.
Oh my
Saved
god!
the day though, because my oven burns a little cold. So the inside or bottom of the cake wasn't done, and the top was a little crusty. I said, just flip it out on some foil.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and broil that motherfucker.
Okay.
So it might be the first
that
ever
shit in
broiled
right.
cake. Yeah.
Root Cellar Music Studio, that's Rob.
Rob, yeah.
Says that his wife Laura and him had the tortillas with cheese at the tailgate.
There we go.
Wait a
Somebody
second.
had
Hold on. That's
tortillas.
Rob who?
With a K.
Oh, the guy that didn't bring his fucking guitar, whose name on the internet is fucking Music Studio.
Yeah, Root
Come
Cellar.
on,
Yeah,
get
didn't
fucked, get fucked.
Yeah. Well, he saw the Barbie movie and he knows that nobody really wants that anymore.
Let's
Well,
So we get there at about 7:55, and we're sitting there waiting to be let in. By the way, SeatGeek StubHub, you can fuck off. They wanted my opinion on what I thought of my parking pass. I gave them my opinion because it didn't work.
What?
And thank goodness
We had a little bit of, thank God I had a little bit of fresh air in the morning and I wasn't stressing because it goes, ding, not working, ding, not working. Supervisor, come over. And meanwhile, I'm going,
Yeah, we're not getting in. We are loaded, and so I just was like, hey, look, we're part of one of the major tailgates, and we got
not working.
and we have our recording equipment to broadcast today. I didn't say what it was, just said those words, and the guy was like, well, we got to get you in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the supervisor come over, he goes, hey, they got media stuff to do, and he's like, let them through.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. Shit, it fucking worked. And
Who thought being a bunch of middle-aged white people with a podcast would help out one day?
yeah, exactly. I went into my best Karen and went, I am a privileged white male, and I am here with the media, so you should let me in.
Do you know who I am? No, here's a sticker.
Yeah, here's the sticker.
I mean, that was me at the tailgate. Hey, do you know who these guys are? No, here's a sticker.
Yeah, exactly.
So we get in, and it's funny because, and this is the problem with the just that overall ticket thing as a whole, and we won't get into the whole Saudi's own Ticketmaster bullshit, but we already know there's enough problematic things. It was all secondary market, and that parking lot was half fucking empty.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like half fucking, and everything was double over what it was supposed to be. Now I feel very good about breaking the law then in that situation, because I was in parking lot F. We needed to be in parking lot E. I definitely drove through an access road, which was a walking strip, and then went through another access road that was a parking strip from orange to purple, because fuck you, I want to be closer. And that's what we did. I was supposed to be in F orange, and I was in E purple, and I did not give one shit that we did that.
Yeah, no shit. I think we were green, weren't we?
No, we were purple. Yeah, what's up, Mel? You got something for us?
We got a caller, hopefully.
Ha ha! I know who this is gonna be.
Hey, Jay, you there? Oh, hold on.
She's actually got to put it onto the board.
Yeah, hold on. I actually did not connect you to the board because it's preseason.
Hey, look, it's a big red button. All you got to do is just hit it,
You
and
might
it
actually
suddenly
be
records.
connected to the board.
Oh, okay. I guess I got to turn off my
maybe
Bluetooth.
Houston, turn off your Bluetooth.
Yeah, it's my male privilege. The board likes me better than you, apparently. Yep, I was absolutely connected to the board.
There we go. I got Jay now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hello, good sir. How are you?
Hello, party partner.
I am well and recovered from a long day in the sun yesterday.
I was going to say, how sore are you? Because all of us are dead.
I felt surprisingly good this morning, and I don't know why.
Ah, fucking
Show off. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently 44 isn't going to be as rough as expected.
I love the fact that it's definitely a false dawn.
Yeah.
44 is going to suck. Everything's going to just, like 3 days from now, it's going to be like, oh, fuck, I can't move.
Yeah. Random pains that I don't remember acquiring.
Right.
9 yards.
Jay comes by to return the table and to grab his cooler, and I'm like in the back with crutches and my legs up. He goes, "What did you do?" I'm like, "It's just tendons."
Just living. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
Hey, I'm Mel. Have you met me? I'm Mel.
Meanwhile, there was that one guy that I was telling you about off air that was like, "Yeah, I figured my life's half over. I gotta start doing stuff. I mean, I just turned 35."
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
And my first thought was, well, clearly he thinks I'm younger than him.
Oh, shit.
How vain of you.
100%.
So this is a perfect time for you to jump in, because we were just talking about all of us breaking the law and going into the purple lot, because fuck you, that's where the grass was, and that's where we were going to set up.
Yeah, well, I mean, and there's a total backstory on that. Is that my buddy Dave with Fulham DC, he called the Commanders no less than like 8 times and talked to a different person trying to reserve a spot for us. And they just, each person was like, "Oh, I don't know. I guess you'll talk to them when you get there." So
Nice.
I had Lot E Platinum. It was the same price as Lot E green, orange, red, purple, whatever. I was like, it's going to be first come, first serve. And
Yeah.
so,
I assume you bought early because everything that I was just talking about, it was all secondary market. It was like all the Sharks bought up all of them, and everything was doubled.
That's the downside. The Premier League did not do a good job informing people about parking because that seemed to be the number one question in all the groups.
I have a feeling that it has more to do with the Washington Red Commander Skins football team
Yeah.
than it does with the Premier League.
Yeah.
Old Danny
they
Boy's
don't-
last
enough.
fuck you to all of DC.
But the Premier League teams, I mean, most of their stadiums you can't even park at.
right, you go to the pub
Right.
and you walk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be lucky to get a
100%.
bicycle into Luton Town Stadium.
But no, apparently Houston and I took the wrong exit, and Jay followed us.
Nice. So we almost didn't get there in the first
He's
place.
like, yeah, I saw a flex like so low it was practically dragging. I assumed that was you guys.
Yep, spot.
Yeah.
That was it. That was definitely us. Yeah, we just went the
yeah,
wrong way.
you usually don't see cars that low to the ground not on 22s.
Dude, you saw how much that car held.
I mean, we are PG County.
Oh, PG
my
County
God.
is
True,
fuck, baby.
true.
And then we're setting up, and then Jay comes over to me, and he's like, "I'm so excited! I finally met you, and I've been talking to Sam, but I've never met Graham. I just kind of picture that he's just gonna appear out of nowhere."
Sure did.
Yeah.
Hair
True to
down,
form.
smoking
down.
cigs,
And fucking his cigarette hanging out the mouth with the
going
music
wild.
blaring.
cracked a beer before I got out of the car.
Yep.
So I was, there was not a moment that I was on the pavement of that parking lot that I did not have a drink in my hand. It was fucking
Good
amazing.
job. Way to stick with the brand.
It's here's Mel and I setting everything up, getting things done, being all responsible, and then Graham shows up like, I'm here, fuckers, to make the funny. Fuck all of you. Worship me.
I am talent, man. I am talent.
And then
Yeah.
proceeded to walk around the room doing exactly that. And you know who was helping me run the party?
Who?
Cole.
Yep, Cole. Of
I
course.
saw Cole over there icing, cleaning up trash, helping Jay.
I iced a few times.
Icing. That's funny. Almost all the ice was gone before the party even started.
No shit. I walked over and made fun of Jay a lot and made sure that he, needed to up his game with the grilling, standards.
Yeah.
Shamed him into doing better.
Yeah. At
good.
9:30, at 9:30, you were like, how come you're not cooking food? And I was like, it's not, who eats a hot dog at 9:30 in the fucking morning?
I've been here for 30 minutes and have 8 beers, so
We had pastries and a Bloody Mary bar for the early people. All right, yo.
Shocker, everybody. Graham gonna Graham.
shit.
I suspect this is Christian. What did Jay see first coming over the horizon? Graham or his full pawn?
No, full pone came later. I started hair
sorry.
down. I started hair down, and I showed up bumping Power Man 5000. Actually,
Oh, yeah. You
got
were-
some comments about that. That was
Yeah,
pretty
you're coming
good.
in- you're coming in hot.
But no, it was great. We had that whole start was just it was nice to just be able to interact with each other, just kind of as a warm up almost.
Before the crazy
before
happened,
the crazy,
because the crazy
Yeah.
when the crazy happened, it
It was
Yeah.
really
happened.
hard. Yeah, it was really hard to spend any time with anyone for real because you
Yeah.
were constantly moving around.
And people were there 9:15, 9:10, like they were already ready to
Yeah.
go. And
What I also thoroughly enjoyed is what can we bring? Ice. Okay, great.
Everybody,
You're going to bring
ice,
ice.
ice.
The first person that showed up at 9:15, he had 4 7-pound bags of ice. Which you know what? For one person,
dude,
you've
well
met
done.
the task.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
he set the bar high.
Nobody else brought ice.
My
No.
favorite part.
Everybody forgot ice.
All right, so now that
And
we've
speaking of Dane, we
talked-
talked to Dane a few times about that. Jay's guy from DC, Fulham.
Yeah.
And I kept calling him Fulham's Kim Kardashian actually
Yeah, he was on the twits.
on the old Twitter the whole time.
I was talking with him. And we were talking, and he was like, "Hold on one second." He put his head.
Got to
down
do a
the phone.
tweet. Got to do a tweet.
y'all should take some lessons from him.
Oh no, it's the phone's in the pocket, man. I'm going to enjoy the fucking day.
I did 2 promotional live videos, and then that was it. I'm relying on everybody else.
I
for
did a
Enjoy the
live
fucking
video.
day, man.
Oh, good
Thank
for
you very much.
So now that I've talked up the praises of Mike from Pineville, North Carolina, our new best friend and Lee, Mike was like, I'm going to bring all the ice. Don't worry. I'm going to load up
the
with
ice.
ice. Great. Appreciate it. You know, I picked up the beer from you. Not necessary. You sure? I'm sure I got
This
you.
is around 10:45, 11 o'clock when he showed up. Exactly when we could have
I'm like,
used the
oh,
fucking
Mike,
ice.
thank God. He goes, guess what I forgot? The ice.
Ice.
I looked down, I'm like, that's all right. It's your beer staying warm.
So,
Right.
so this dance begun, which was very fun to watch, where we were making beers and drinks go to other coolers and then combining the cold water of said cooler to other coolers. And it was just this, somehow we're going to keep it all kind of cold.
Yeah.
Kind of cold.
Yeah. And then Jay tells me, Villa goes in, and then Jay remembers he's got like 8 cases of beer in his truck, just getting hotter.
Yeah,
And
the Fitz brought beer from Atlanta to do a beer exchange, and I totally forgot because I got sidetracked on the grill, and then I went to get something else, and I was like, "Oh shit, we have more beer in here," which was good because we needed more beer, but it was bad because it was not cold.
well, that's gonna add to the total because we estimated it roughly 20 cases, not including those 8. So damn near close to 30 cases of either seltzer, beer,
Canned cocktails.
or canned cocktails.
Yeah, because I
and-
think
Not counting the whiskey.
yeah.
I think we brought, between what we grabbed and what Mike brought, 18 cases.
Yeah, there's thereabouts, and I know you had a 30 rack of Coors Light and a 30 rack of Miller Lite that went in a cooler right away, and that little song and dance was crazy. Well, but what's even more amazing than that dance was also Melissa just kind of bouncing around the entire room, like how Pepe Le Pew would chase its prey in the cartoons, going ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Right. That would be Mel. We all did exactly what we're on brand to do, right?
100% we did.
Mel was bouncing around. Sam was man of the people. Mr. Graham was man of the people, and I held court.
Yeah.
I had my spot, and fuck you, you're coming to me.
And so we all have a role, and that we absolutely do that. Yeah.
I described it
It's
to my
funny as
sister
shit.
Jenna as the 3rd of July party on steroids and coke.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, basically.
Sprinkle a little meth over the top
in
too.
fact, at one point, I'm standing there going, "This is like my debutante ball," like because none of those people knew me before this. Like a handful, the locals knew me, and I've been a little bit in the groups, but I haven't been very vocal. And then all of a sudden, it's like I got the girl upstairs push.
Yeah.
Who's Melissa? We got to meet Melissa. Who's this Melissa girl? Producer Mel? Yeah, that's Melissa. Where is she? Are you Melissa? Hi. And it was just like the whole day.
I was introducing myself as I'm the person married to Melissa.
That's outstanding.
Like, not even the DU football. I would then say, hey, we're the DU football show. I'm one of the hosts. Blah, blah. But I would be like, yeah, I'm married to Melissa. They'd be like, oh, where's she at?
So I spent a lot of time with the
fun
Fulham people
people.
on person,
Yeah.
on purpose rather,
Yeah.
because obviously Villa had Mel.
Right.
So I did.
We needed to spread
We had
it
to
out.
spread it out and spread the love. So I made sure to
you
spend
and
a
I
lot
get
of time
too
over in
close
the Fulham
together,
stuff.
Then
Yeah.
it's like a magnetic pull that just people can't handle that.
Yeah. It's like Vincent Company's forehead.
And yet I have to deal with it every fucking week.
Yeah.
They're a magnetic pull. And so the food's going, the drink's going, the bodies just kind of keep pouring in. And obviously,
it was amazing.
the beginning was much more Villa heavy because obviously Villa was going in first, and there was going to be Fulham supporters that were going to show up a little bit later. Although even at that point, I'd say there was easily like 75, 80 Fulham people already at that point while we were still going. And we went ahead and decided to do a live show and kind of give everybody what it is
taste.
we do.
Yeah.
The speaker just doesn't like us, and also
It's a cheap one. Like,
right,
it's
and
a
also
very cheap
and also
speaker.
figuring out how to keep the power running in the car was an issue.
That's not the issue, though, guys.
And me not hitting record
Yeah, that's the
for
issue.
a show we needed to record might have fucking helped.
Yeah, the giant red button.
But honestly, at the end of the day, we realized quickly, it was like, you know what? We did a quick little bit. We did our 20 minutes. We gave everybody, it's like in stand-up. Give them a solid 5, right? Like, come and hit it hard. We did what we were supposed to do. Everybody understood who we were. And hopefully you're now listening and watching this and checking us out now.
And what do we say, Graham? Mash that what?
Mash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Bruh, gotta
Come on,
mash
man.
that, man.
Like and follow.
Yeah. So like I said, that went horribly wrong. But then my boy Hiram and the little, like, I will call it the Blues Crew showed up because
Blues Crew,
his
coming all
friend-
the way from Annapolis.
well, and it was great because there was, Mel, you were talking about somebody that was there that was from like Georgia.
So I'm at the, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Close.
Okay,
They
sorry.
have a lot in common, Pennsylvania and Georgia.
Yeah, it's so much. Well, but you know what? Yes, they do. Problematic
Anyways.
elections. Thank you.
And I'm at the soft drink cooler, and the guy's wearing a blue crab shirt. I'm like, hey, Blues fan, where are you from? Pennsylvania. I've actually never been to a game. What? Yeah, I saw them on social media and liked the shirt. And another guy was like, oh, yeah, I like their logo. I've got a scarf. I've just been watching them online. Never been to Annapolis. What?
Yeah.
Stand right here. Went and grabbed Hiram and Brandon, came back as you guys have got to meet this dude. I'm like, hey, here's some friends of mine. They're with the Blues. Talk to this guy.
Yeah. It was very interesting how there was so many connections to our local, our little local club that, Jay's
Brand new as well. I mean,
Yeah.
a brand new expansion team.
I told Hiram, I saw at least 5 Annapolis Blues jerseys in the stadium.
Yeah, and Jay's also a season ticket holder of the Blues. So, it just kind of funny how it was this small world and the Bay Boys helping out with the grill and stuff. It was just very, 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 very cool. And also, let's face it, for the Annapolis Blues, it's a spot-on logo.
Yeah.
If you want something
it is
Maryland
sexy.
as fuck, like that Blues logo,
Yeah.
the name, the crab, that's like... Yep, that's who we are. Oh yeah, the only thing it needed to be was the Calvert and the fucking Baltimore flag.
Sounds like the only thing it needed to be was Dungeness.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
Seattle twats. Fuck out of here with that.
And then that show ended, and
All
then
with love, guys. All with love.
and then after that show ended, I'd like to say, quote, we malorted.
Yeah.
How so? Oh.
Oh yeah, because that's when you grabbed the bottle and proclaimed,
Well, okay.
"Oh,
so
where's the Chicago boys? We got to do Malort." And then
there's
suddenly
this
there was
guy-
like 40 of us ready to do shots of
There's
Malort.
this guy, Simon. He is a legend in the Villa supporters group, and I follow him. I listen to him. He leads most of the discussions in the groups, and I already knew, Chicago, they do it celebratory. And I'm like, Sam, come on, make me look good. We need to bring some Malort. That Simon, we brought Malort for you and your guys. He's like, great, let's do it.
Brought 2 bottles. Also, by the way,
This is what's left of 2 bottles.
Simon, you're exactly what I expected you to look like.
He's
Brummy as
intense.
fuck,
Oh
mohawk,
my gosh.
singing the fucking songs and be like, we're gonna drink Malort right now and fuck everybody. You're
I'm-
like, yeah, you are.
I'm pouring the shots out, and they have like a whole song and a whole thing, and
It was
I'm just like,
phenomenal.
And then there's me with this dumb grin on my face, just like I don't know the word, just going.
I know the word.
Yeah.
Squirtable Ranch.
And
Hey, look, it ends with something everybody knows, which is up the fucking Villa.
then
That's-
they come back after the game.
yeah, here's the
and-
moral dilemma, Mel.
And Simon's like, is there any more Malort? And I'm like, dude, you killed the first bottle. And he goes, oh man, that's all right. Thank God I have a second. All right. And then it's all over again. And he and I had a discussion about it. And apparently it is considered by the Chicago villains bad luck to do a shot for anything other than a win.
Okay.
So what the fuck do I do? I'm not drinking every fucking show, y'all.
You ain't going to win every week anyway, so don't
well-
worry about that.
Well, I there's a couple of thoughts because I did when we did do the first shots of Malort, I said, you guys drink for victories. Well, on our show, we drink for defeats. So as an Everton supporter and you a Villa supporter, I reckon we did about the same amount of shots this past season and then cheers with them. And Mel, I think we're going to go ahead and take that out-of-state rule thing going on.
Like marriage?
Right. What? Wait, what? Thank God she
I
doesn't
thought
go
that was just
out-of-state.
different area code shit.
Thank God she didn't go out of town very much.
I mean, I was just in Florida.
And you're also in Bahamas too, so
Out of country is a different rule.
Ooh, definitely. Now the Yeah, and I was out of country with Graham, so hey there, big boy.
We fuck here, so it's
So here's what we're gonna do. You know, when I am with you, and I am gonna come to Chicago because I have an uncle out there, and I do want to come visit. When I am with other villains and we're celebrating, but in this studio, in this room, I will have to follow the DU Football Show rules after this shot. So this is my last shot for joy, but up the Villa.
Now, Graham, you said there was
Yum.
another description. Yeah, you're smiling. I could see you smiling. The biggest smile. I often describe it as if earwax threw up, but you heard another great description.
yeah. I can't remember exactly what it was though.
I know what it was.
I think it was a grapefruit married something.
If grapefruit was dropped in gasoline.
Yeah, grapefruit and gasoline. That's what it was. Yeah.
Simon said we don't appreciate it because we don't cleanse our palates beforehand. So I did cleanse my palate, and I still don't appreciate it.
Nice.
So at this point, just before the game, there is easily 150 to 175 Villa fans. I mean, it was massive.
I mean, we were the place to be.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there was tons of people that were coming through. One of the reasons why I held court is because very early on, there was about like 6 teenage kids wearing like a city, a forest, a Pulisic jersey, and they walked right up to the beer pool. They looked right at the beer pool. They looked right up and they saw my fat ass sitting in a chair right in front of the beer pool, just looking right at them. And they kept on walking. And I was like, yeah, I think that's going to have to be part of my job today, is just kind of keep eyes on things.
And apparently Villa fans like, yeah, we were looking, and then you see our big white tent and all the flags, flying from it. And that warmed my heart, watching different people come up and hanging their stuff on our tent. And I'm just like, I'm still grinning ear to ear. Like, I am so...
And then couple that, like, Jay, you had your 3 tents set up, and it was covered in fucking Fulham flags as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And there was actually an excellent segue about the teenagers in the beer pool, because there were so many Villa fans. They walled off the parking lot so that the Chelsea fans couldn't come over and harass us while we were trying to have our Fulham family gathering.
Right. They were just, fuck off. You all are staying away.
Yeah, they're like, I think there's Fulham fans over there, but there's a lot of Villa fans.
Yeah,
we'd rather not deal with them.
We were security for the Fulham club. Chelsea wasn't getting
absolutely,
us.
and we appreciated it. It would have been nice if some of y'all stayed in the stadium, because there was that was literally the low light of the entire weekend, was the Fulham supporters section half full of Chelsea fans. And of course it was the obnoxious one.
During our match, the Chelsea fans started cheering for Brentford.
Yeah,
that's a West London club. Like, what the fuck are they doing cheering for a West London club? Like, if anything, they should be cheering for Villa.
You know, Mark is very much like he roots for Arsenal when they, like, in Europe, not roots for them, not actively, but because you want your city to do well. He said that's very much a piece of the culture, is you want your city to do stuff. And especially England's second city being Birmingham, the Londoners make sense that they, fuck Birmingham. We don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, but how many Londoners were
because
really
they
there
don't know
for Chelsea?
anything. It's because they're stupid Americans that don't know anything. That's what it is.
Yeah,
which is
it's
fine.
akin to the SEC football bias, right? It's like if you're an Alabama fan, but Alabama has 2 losses, now you're an LSU fan because they might win the national title.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So, yeah, it's like you're not a real fan because you'll root for your rival, but I don't know how you root for a team that you rooted against most of the time, except when you're not playing them.
Well, here's I'll go ahead and jump to this point since you kind of brought it up. Okay, so there was a shit ton of Chelsea fans. And the thing we have to kind of remember is that the Big Six is always going to have a huge presence. Like, I know last season with the Everton-Arsenal match, our Everton people were like, we're going to be great. We're going to take... I'm like, the fuck you are. Like, the Baltimore Gooners are
come proper.
If Arsenal is playing in the United States, there's going to be a fuck ton of Gooners.
The only time that Arsenal have played here that I haven't been essentially a home game was this time against Manchester United because it was in New York.
Yeah.
And it's all Manchester United up there.
Right.
Really. I mean, the New York Gooners are awesome as well, of course, and come out in force. But Manchester United had so many, foreign supporters for most of their existence, between China and here. They're probably one of the most supported clubs in the world, obviously.
Right.
They're just massive. And that was the only time I've ever felt like I was at an away game. Watching the Arsenal here.
Now, that all being said, Brentford had a tailgate in lot H, right? And I saw a picture of all their fans. 80 fucking fans there.
Seriously.
5 years ago.
At the
5 years ago, there would not have been 80 fucking Brentford fans.
At the halftime of the halftime intermission. What fuck?
Intermission.
Yeah, halftime. I don't know.
In between, are you talking about
Intermission. What is this, Cats again?
Between first half and second half of the game, they were doing. I don't know why I got caught up on the lingo all of a sudden.
Who's the fat dude for your club that
You're
produced
very
Cats?
stupid American right now.
Shut up. It's the Malort, okay?
Jazz hands.
It's messing with my head. They had little games on the field with local supporters, and the Brentford fan, the woman from Annapolis, Maryland.
Awesome.
Cold Eye, where the fuck have you been?
Right.
How do we find you? So
Yes.
we're putting a shout out. If anybody knows the Brentford woman from Annapolis, Maryland.
Yes, we need to know you. We need to watch a fucking game with you. This is great. And then, but then you look at, the Fulham Villa tailgate. There was easily between 250 and 300 people there. And that's not including the people that didn't know and were still in the stadium. This is a big fucking deal. You know what?
Yeah.
Right now, for the smaller clubs, as we're growing supporter, the big six is easy and understand. And this is no offense. I know there are Chelsea fans that really know their shit and really know their club.
Hi, Rob. I think he's talking about you.
But there's also a bunch who fucking don't.
Hi, Rob. He might also be talking about you.
And they're no, I'm not. But there's people it was Terry from the Fits, and we'll talk about the Fits in a second.
I miss seeing Terry.
But what was interesting, she put up a tweet about. She was like, "Yeah, shocking. The Chelsea fans are doing the wave. That's on brand, right? Because
they did it multiple times too. They're proud of themselves.
That's so annoying.
And because,
Maybe Dan could take a page out of her book. That's a well-crafted tweet.
But what it is for us as our clubs, you don't want to keep up with the Joneses. You just want to make your club better. And I can say this for Sam. Graham's said this before. He's like, we've been at it for 10 years, the Baltimore Gooners. I want all of you to have these kind of supporter. I want you to be what we are. I want you to have the Abbey. I want you to enjoy this.
100%. It's such a big part of the fan experience in football specifically. In this sport, you need that community, that togetherness, that die together attitude. Like that. It's and if you don't have that, if I was show being released later in the week, we just talked to our friend Brett, who's a Burnley supporter, and we just did their promotion show. They're getting to know Burnley show with him a few minutes ago, and he said, there's 8 people or something that sometimes meet up for games or whatever it was, and it's that's awesome, great, it's a good start, but when you're in a room, and you've been to the Abbey with me on a big day.
I've been in the Abbey with you in a packed room when you're playing us.
Yeah.
And it is shoulder to shoulder.
But when you get 75 people upstairs, you get 100 more people downstairs.
That's ridiculous.
And the whole bar collectively chanting at the same time.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
and it's the closest you can get to being in the stadium without being in the fucking stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to have that. And I the Fits, especially Fulham in general, does have a decent following in the U.S. because of so many U.S. connections. Brian McBride, Clint Dempsey, all those various players. They got a lot of press here.
Yeah.
For a long time. And so it shouldn't, you're not, they're not as everywhere as we are.
Right. So,
but there's a decent amount of Fulham supporters, throughout the United States, but locally, as well.
I want to kind of transition, and the key takeaway point that we want to do here is, look, guys, keep doing what you're doing, keep building what you're building. I know that Lindsay, Cole, Nichelle, and Mel have some great fucking plans for what Villa is going to be as a supporters club in the DMV area for next year. Keep fucking doing what you're doing. Yeah. They have 500, you have 80. Trust me, your 80 is more fucking devoted and into it than their 500 is. Yeah. Like, this is now your new family, and it's a beautiful thing, and embrace it. And at that point, as we're transitioning, the Villa supporters all grab their flags and they're walking up the stadium doing the chants. And just real briefly, I don't want you to talk about the game because we'll get to that. Yep. But what was that experience like for you, just with the whole group doing that thing?
I wish I could say I was with them, but I wasn't. In fact, people just kind of trickled over. It was individual clubs that were going over together.
Oh, okay.
And
gotcha.
so, yeah, Lindsay, Cole, and I walked over together and met a lovely fan named Steve. And that's all I'm going to say about Steve, except he did give me a great idea for a new T-shirt. So, new shirt alert in the DU Drip Shack. What is it? I got to find the copy for it.
Is it the one about them?
Oh, no, it's the one about you. That's right. In a world full of arseholes, be more Fulhamish.
DU Drip Shack, boys and girls.
So by the time you're hearing this, that will be medias. On the Drip Shack.
Now,
ready for purchase.
So with that, the Villa supporters have moved away, and Fulham is just growing and growing, and it's getting bigger. And finally, the moment I was waiting for, a bunch of the fucking Fits showed up. And, to see Terry and Jason and Rob, these are people, I met them during COVID, and I met them on the internet. And they were people at the time where we were all in this scenario where we were just hungry to fucking have connection and talk to people and have fun with people. I'd watch my match and I'd jump on their
Zooms
and hang out. Yeah. Okay.
That's where my first experience with Jay came from.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought it was the drip snack.
Yeah, the drip snack, drip sack.
That's just me. I'm the snack.
You are a snack.
It is definitely not sack.
Yeah. But yeah, you were saying
that's where we're on those Zooms.
Yeah,
that's where I met Jay for the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe you were poolside actually for the game that we watched.
Oh yeah.
If there's something,
it was early in the season, so the pool was still open. I think it was like second or third week.
Graham does like a follically challenged man at a pool.
He does. Graham has a type, Jay.
Oh, speaking of that, real quick, before we ditch Villa completely, I did see a rather pasty older gentleman laying on the ground in the grass in the Arsene Wenger on the beach pose.
Yes, I saw that.
And that was
brilliant.
Fucking brilliant. I just had to get him a mention real quick. That was awesome.
So, it was like all three of the Fits would say the same thing. All we cared about was just seeing each other and giving each other a hug.
Absolutely. And it was a big hug.
And I only saw Terry twice. I only saw Jason twice. I only saw Rob once. I got to spend a little bit of time with each because, again, it's a crazy fucking day. But that's all I needed. It's all I fucking needed. The people that I've grown to love that I've never actually met, it was just like, you're you, I'm me.
We're
Holy
real
shit.
people,
We're the Spider-Man meme. And the Fits, where Villa left off, the Fits took over. And it was just absolutely fantastic. So, Jay, you're a Fulham guy. And so talk about what it was like just to have that big family there.
Yeah, so between Philadelphia and then on Saturday night, we had a supporter event at Franklin Hall, which was nice enough to host us without any fee or anything. We just went there, and the team was handing out swag and merch, and Brian McBride just strolled in, and he held court for about a half hour, and then took pictures and shook hands and talked to about 250 fans. So it was really cool. It felt like I was at a wedding or a family reunion, of somebody that I was close with but didn't necessarily know everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, touching on the Fitz and them getting there, I mean, it was crazy because I used to watch Fulham matches on like Jailbrook and Fire Stick by myself, sometimes not even in English.
Right.
And then when I found out about them, like they watch all the matches. They get together, 8, 10, 12 people on a Zoom. And it was like you said, during the pandemic, it was like there was soccer, there was, English football on, and there was people to interact with and like talk about, and they were knowledgeable, and it was like a lot of fun. So to actually see them in person 3 years later was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and both the crowds were great, and then, of course, which is I'm going to jump ahead a few spots here, kids, and then go back to the other spot. Fucking Shahid Khan, the owner of the fucking club, come to hang out with you guys, talk with the fans, and take a picture.
Just when I think, oh my God, the Villa half of this tailgate was fucking epic, Fulham goes, yeah, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Yeah, so before we get into Shahid himself, real quick, there was 2 or 3 people that I was like, you look smack like famous people, right? That weren't. And then fucking this guy just rolls up on the goddamn go-kart. And I was like, fuck, that guy looks like that's Shahid Khan. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, he's the giant mustache, the twirled, like he's unmistakable. You know who the fuck that is.
I get a text from Houston. So the Fulham owners at our tailgate. I read that to Nicole and Lindsay. They're like, the owner of Fulham, like, that can't be right. I must have misunderstood something.
Just chilling.
There was a guy that looked like Tim Hayden, the TikTok watch guy.
Right.
There was a guy that looked like, and he was in a fucking suit, like a sport coat.
I mean, was it him?
No, it wasn't. There was a girl that reminded me a lot of the actress from The Queen's Gambit.
Okay, got you.
And then I was like, oh, that guy, he looks important. He's in a golf cart. Look, that's Shahid Khan in it.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Jay, did you get a chance to get a handshake and a picture and all that good stuff?
I didn't know what was going on because we had just taken like a group picture, and then like 10 minutes later, they're like yelling to come take this picture, and I'm like, we just fucking took a picture. Why do we need to take another one? And then I was like, oh, the owner is here. Yes, we need to take another picture.
My daddy's got hot dogs to cook. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, I mean, you can't cook 500 hot dogs if you don't start at 9:30.
Would have been a lot easier if you started at 9:15, Jay.
Yeah,
which was my suggestion.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We'll know for next time, right? But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to bend his ear because I haven't met anyone else that can claim this, but I was a Fulham fan prior to Shahid Khan buying Fulham, and I was a Jacksonville Jaguars fan prior to him buying it. So he's bought 2 of my favorite teams, and I'm really hoping that if the Orioles come for sale, that he'll buy them too. But I didn't get to plant that seed.
Like, hey, look, the O's coming for sale. You should jump in on that. Just saying. You want to complete the trifecta for me and be like the god of all owners.
Yeah,
That's what you need to do, pal. I'm sure. And then,
maybe I could just weasel my way into some sort of side job like Tony.
Yeah, the new promoter on All Elite Wrestling, Jay.
At this point, I'll grill hot dogs for all the events.
Yeah. He'll come walking down the aisle, pull off his shirt. I'm middle-aged dad working the grill. Fuck all of you.
Those white New Balance on with the grass-stained bottoms.
I'm going to lay down the charcoal. My finishing move.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was so busy I didn't even have time to put the New Balances on.
So
flip-flop work boots yesterday.
That's right.
Continuing with fatherhood here, as we talked about earlier, we started to do this song and dance of like, oh, this cooler's empty, let's move it to this one, right? And like finally the domestic beer cooler was empty, and I was like, well, the beer pool has lived its life, and we need to save the beer. I was like, hey Jay, because again, I just can't do too much physically still, so I'm like, hey Jay, and I'm gonna fucking roll that shit for ever. I'm sorry, boys, heart surgery. I can't help out until y'all tell me to fuck off. But I was like, all right, hey Jay, can you get a couple of guys, lift up the pool, just dump it into the cooler, so that it's no longer in the pool, and we'll get rid of the pool. And he's like, yeah, I got you. And then he starts putting beers in the pool, and his boys start helping him out, right? They get everything in. Well, as they're doing it, the boys are like, well, this simply won't fucking do.
Oh, yeah.
These beers need to be organized, for fuck's sake, because we're a proper fucking tailgate, and this is how we're gonna run shit. And
Yes.
Jay's just like, boys, get the fucking beer in the pool. Let's come on, chop, let's get this shit done, right? And they get the beer all gets in the pool, and Jay leaves, and then they proceed to take every fucking can out of the cooler and then reorganize it, and then go, wait, we just discovered the 4-pack holders. This is not good enough. Now, bi-color can, putting them back into 4-packs and back into the
Did
cooler.
they think people were going to take them home at the end of the day?
Mom gave zero shit. She
didn't give a fuck.
The boys are doing something, and they're not fucking off. We're good.
That happened
Let them do what they're doing.
until they started chucking the 4-pack holders. Then she got a little pissed.
Yeah.
They at one point she ended up standing on the stack.
Well, the problem was they threw one, and it went really far. They went,
We can do more of this. Yeah.
we can fuck some shit up with these guys right here.
Oh, my
That
God.
was brilliant.
Yeah. It was like the first time that, remember the Nerf footballs? I forget the name of them, but you could throw them like 100 yards and they whistled.
Yeah.
Back in the day. It was like that. Like, they threw it and they're like, oh, that's farther than I can throw anything else. Let's do it again.
What's even funnier is when everybody kind of came over and was sitting down. Your youngest was in a piss poor mood because Dad was doing shit and working and trying to get things. Why isn't Dad paying attention, man? And your wife is just like, like, settle down. What, you're gonna be grumpy? Is that what you're gonna do? Gonna be grumpy the whole time?
Yeah.
Then we gave him the beer project, and all that shit went right out the window. It's like, I am fucking organizing, and this is the best.
Was this the same child that recognized you from the sticker?
Yes, it was. It was also the same child that looked a grown man in the face and said, so are you going to eat that ghost pepper, or are you just going to hold it? That was not at this tailgate. That was at an Annapolis tailgate. But I do love that a man in his late 30s was goaded by I'm sorry, not a kindergartner. He's in first grade.
First grade,
That was very
that's a sticking
important.
point with him.
I'm not 5, I'm 6.
Hasn't
me.
spent a day in first grade yet, but fuck you, I'm a first grader. He looked him right in the face and was like, "Gonna eat that pepper?" Like, and boy did he, and boy did it not go well. So with all that being said, we now turn Mel to you in the stadium.
Oh my gosh, we had
how was it?
The best seats. I looked at Lindsay because Lindsay was debating whether we wanted to be front row or like a little further back to see better. And I looked over at Lindsay. I'm like, remember that joke when you debated whether we wanted to be front row or not? Because we're in the end zone. We're right behind the goal. And so we've got like perfect view of Emmy Martinez warming up and stretching and leaning over and stretching. And with that, we lost Jay.
We lost Jay. Jay will come
Did
back.
your phone die?
No, Jay just hung up. He's like, all right, I'm done with y'all.
All right, bye, Jay.
Oh, you're done talking about me? Okay, I'm out.
We were
All
going
good.
back to him, though.
You know what Jay just did? He did the, hey guys, one more thing to us while we're talking.
And so it was fantastic seats, and we were able to sit there and yell at the team, and they could hear us because they acknowledged us, and I'm blowing kisses at Emmy. And there was a penalty.
You gotta be fucking careful with that. He might turn around and whip his whole cock out.
Oh, I was hoping. I was hoping.
Not a different zip code, Sam, but I was in parking lot E, purple, and she was inside the stadium, so it's enough distance, right?
So
Yeah,
he's-
for sure. She was like, treat me like the World Cup Golden Glove. Just hold me and
I
hump.
do have a thing for goalies. And
She does.
unfortunately, he was scored on a couple of times at our end, so I got to see angry Emmy up close. And after one of the scores, the Villa faithful are cheering, "Hey, we still love you!" And he looks at us and he's just puts his head down and is shaking his head. No applause from me.
You should hate me right now.
Drinks his bottle of water, drops it into the edge, and then like starts smacking himself in the head. I'm like, oh yeah, goalies really are not right in the brain.
No.
Not
There's
at
nothing
all.
good about it.
Not at all.
Nothing good about it.
But then watching him celebrate when they did score a goal on the other side, it was, "Are you pouring me more Malort? Fuck you."
It's
Oh
not
no, it's
Malort.
something else good. Sorry, just a reflex. Reflex. I said scored on, and now automatically I see a liquid coming my way. But it was fantastic. And I saw Matty Cash briefly when they switched sides, and he was a little upset over missing something, and I don't know why. Like, football players angry kind of does it for me a little bit.
You'd have loved to watch me play back in the day then.
Jay, wait,
Oh, yeah.
had to run. Thanks for letting me chat.
Brilliant.
But it was great. And then after the game was over, Tyrone and John McGinn cross over the barrier to come to the fans. Now, Tyrone doesn't come to the fans. Tyrone comes to Lindsay.
Yeah.
He has spotted Lindsay. He already has met Lindsay. Lindsay has tweeted at him. That is his, like, I see you. I'm coming to you. And I swear to God, it was like they were friends.
There's one brummy lass in this fucking stand, and I'm going right to
It was
fuck her.
like,
Yeah, hell
it
yeah.
was like, Jacob Morrell talking to you on the sideline, that kind of like,
Right.
"Hey, how you doing?"
Right.
And like he's chatting with her for
Yeah, but I'm
a
sure
good,
Lindsay didn't offer advice.
yeah. But I'm like, they're talking for a good felt like half a minute until finally he's like, "Oh yeah, hand me the phone," and then like there's cheese, and we got a picture with Tyrone Mings, and then I got a handshake, and then I immediately Cole's like, "Let me touch your hand."
Yeah, and
We should have asked for a shirt. Somebody said later, "Why didn't you guys ask for his shirt?"
yeah.
Which would have been on brand for me, and I just didn't even
And
occur to me to
honestly,
objectify him to his face.
honestly, considering that circumstance, he probably would have ripped it right off and handed it to Lindsay.
100%.
And I'm sorry, Mel, it would have been Lindsay's.
Oh, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
no arguments. For
She
me.
already stole two
Now,
flags.
I
pretty much.
captured one flag. I borrowed the other. I would have smelled it. I would have hugged it. Nicole might have rubbed it
Places.
places. But no,
We'll just say places.
Squirting ranch.
undeniably, that shirt would have gone home with Lindsay. No question.
Nah, so there you are, you're inside, and we'll talk a little bit
Oh, it
about
was
the
awesome.
overall feelings and our impressions at the end. But with that, Fulham makes their way in, Villa makes their way out,
Good Lord.
and Villa's ready to fucking party.
Yep.
I
mean, they were treated to a 6-goal thriller.
I'm reaching in the back of the car. I'm like, well, we got these cocoa vodkas still, and I'm thinking Shirley's. And as soon as they're in the cooler, they're coming out of the cooler.
We're literally just throwing whatever we have left into the coolers.
Jay asked me, hey, did you see a bottle of flavored something? I'm like, dude, everything got drank.
There was a.
It did.
Terry brought up a bottle of blueberry moonshine that she was walking around and handing to people, and I took a little
That's
lip
when
off
he's
of
like,
that.
yeah, apparently that went away.
I took a lip off of that too. It was
Yeah.
actually decent.
Well, then you met Terry then.
Oh yeah, I did. I didn't. She was just. I didn't meet her.
Right, but she was the one passing it
She
out.
was just. We were standing
that
there.
one- that's
She was
Terry.
like, "Do you have this yet?" I was like, "No." You want some? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, the Bloody Marys got killed.
Yep.
Almost all the Malort got
Jay
killed.
brought a bottle of 175 of vodka.
That got killed.
The whiskey, I brought 6 bottles, 3 of them, because between all of them, how much got drank? I'd say easily about 3 total bottles got drank.
Yeah.
The Malort, you still have a bottle, but
I just brought it. It's in the closet.
There's basically 1 3/4 of a bottle of Malort got drank. There was, now we thought roughly 20, but with Jay, what he brought, damn near close to 30 cases of seltzer, beer, and canned beverages,
Yeah.
right?
Canned cocktails. Yeah.
When we got home, there was 8 Cocoa vodka cans and 1 Dirty Shirley. Mm-hmm. That was it.
That's all. Oh,
Today I told you, I was like, Sam, I got to go buy beer. Why is that? Because there's no fucking beer left, Graham.
Yes.
That's why.
and apparently an unopened case of Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, nobody. All the other soda got drank, but apparently, fuck you, Dr. Pepper.
I would have loved a Dr. Pepper had I known they were there.
There's an unopened case
It was
of
sitting in the middle of the street, just sitting there. The
nobody.
entire
Apparently,
time.
Dr. Pepper wasn't
Just
a
fucking
thing.
baking.
Well,
Surprised the cans didn't explode.
my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law will very much enjoy it because they are Dr. Pepper fiends.
I love
So
Dr.
that's
Pepper.
Going back
That's
to
probably my favorite soda.
And at this point, when Fulham goes in and it's just you and me and a couple of people, the Villa people haven't even really come out yet, we get the shot clock. This is when the security guys who we've been making nice to the entire time, because especially at the beginning,
Oh yeah.
we're parking in the wrong lot. And the minute those security guys came up, I was immediately like, hi guys, how you doing? I'm
We're
Sam.
not
I'm
even-
a wonderful person. I love you. You're a wonderful human being.
Yo.
And I want to be your best friend.
Yo, we're not even in the wrong lot. See, Commander Skins have rules in their parking lot, and there's an RV lot where you can take over and spread out. But in the parking lot, you're just your spot, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, we knew it wasn't going to fill up, and it didn't fill up. And so, yeah, we definitely spread.
We took 2 spaces lengthwise. So our car was one of the spaces, and then behind the car was the tent.
And then we
right?
had it was a 10 by
then,
20.
And then all the tents were along the grass as well. But it was clear we wanted to make nice with those cats right off the bat.
And they were
definitely.
great.
And they were wonderful, and we fed them, and we gave them water whenever they wanted. If they wanted a beer, we gave them a beer. We took care of them. But they gave us the shot clock, and apparently with Commander Skins games, it's an hour after the game starts is when you're supposed to stop doing tailgating. Well, obviously there were 2
Being a
games.
doubleheader, yeah.
They made it the second game, but they also made it 45 minutes, not an hour. And they came by and they told us, we're like, we got you, we got you. Well, we didn't expect the number to come back, and it was at least 50 Villa supporters.
At least. And they were drinking heavy, and they were loud.
And the beer
and they
disappeared.
were fun.
Oh, it was great. And then finally the eye
It was
in the
those
sky.
Chicago fuckers.
The eye in the sky, which is the cameras attached to the light poles that are looking down, told the security guys, like, hey, look, you need to take care of this. And they're like, yeah, we got them. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. They finally went, they need to stop now. And PG's Finest pulled up as well. And they were like, and they're looking at it, they're like, you're done, or else he's going to tell you you're done.
At which point, the Villa contingency starts singing, we're Aston Villa, we leave when we want, we leave when we want. We're Aston Villa, we leave when we want. Well, I hope you want to now, guys.
Because it's over. It's over. It's done.
There's a second part of the day. Is it Atlas, Kenny,
yeah.
Keith?
Keith.
Fuck, why do I keep doing that?
Because your brother's name's Kenny.
I know.
It's very
what
obvious
happens.
why.
Keith had set up a post-game drinks at Atlas,
at
and
Atlas.
that's where everyone was supposed to go. And so it's like, all right, guys,
The good news, the alcohol was just about gone.
second half of the agenda, go to Atlas. That's where everyone's going now.
Everybody was great. They helped cleaned up, get all the trash, get everything taken down. And then we're finally in the scenario where, like, I still need to make nice because people's shit is in my car. I can't leave. I can't
Right.
leave. And Fulham shit is all still up, right? And they're inside. So we kind of talked to the security, and we're like, look, my shit's going to go down. It's all going to go in the car, so it won't exist anymore. But the stuff, the tents and the grass is fine. They're like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, none of us are going to drink. I'm going to drive home, right? Like, like we're not going to drink. Just
Wow.
Can we sit in the
I
shade?
didn't drink at that point. At that point, I'm like, oh, there's not
fresh
many
air.
people around. Let's fire up the shorty.
Yeah. So, but at that point, and that was right around before the Villa people came out, is when you headed out.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just,
Oh no, I saw them before I left.
and then you
There was a bunch of them that came out of there, and I said bye
Oh,
and
yeah,
thank
you
you
did
and all
say
that.
goodbye. I did see him out.
And
Yeah.
then from there, it was just kind of like, okay, low key, we just gotta kind of stay here. And there were people who came out and we chatted with them and we kind of directed them where they needed to go.
Big
And we had cold
difference
water for them.
between the Villa supporters and the Fulham supporters is the Villa supporters came out going, "Where's more beer?" The Fulham supporters came out going, "He got any waters?"
How very fucking
very
Fulhamish.
Fulhamish.
Any more of the non-alcoholic seltzers? So I had put all the non-alcoholics in a cooler so they could still have like refreshments. But I thought that was adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, we say how very fucking Fulhamish of them. Honestly, that tailgate, how very fucking Fulhamish of them was absolutely brilliant.
Well, what was it? Somebody offered us a charcuterie board once, and then we ended up
It
with
was
6
Jason.
hours worth of grilling.
Yeah, Jason offered us charcuterie once, and now it's
Yeah,
Nina was grilling.
Jason gave me a big hug. I forgot to ask where the charcuterie board was. But I did. I heard like at one point, "Melissa? Jason?" And then and it was just on from there.
And then obviously from there, Mel, there was some randomness that people fucking left.
Oh God.
I forgot a chair.
Yeah,
So,
you left your chair. We packed that for you. By the way, don't forget it tonight, dumbass, because I'm going to leave it out and it's going to get rained
over
on.
by the car chatting with Blues Brandon, and he goes, "There's something on your tire," and looks under, and I need to know, Graham, is this from you or not? Someone had put their container of vape juice on
Not me.
top of
Yeah,
our
Graham just went
tire.
full-blown cigarettes in the parking lot.
Yeah. No, not mine.
Yeah, so just was sitting on top of our tire, so I was able to take that off. And then Lindsay,
Beard balm.
then Lindsay starts going through her bag, and someone has dropped in there beard balm.
Yeah, because clearly Lindsay needs to manicure her
And she's
perfectly
like,
trimmed beard.
"What is this doing in my bag?" I'm like, "I."
Does she still have it? I'll take
No,
that.
we have it.
we put it on Jay's part. We're like, "Here, that's the Fulham part of the tailgate. Now we're out of here."
Yeah, so we finally kind of pack everything up and we head out and got to say goodbye to a lot of
I
people.
mean, theoretically, I would have loved to go to Atlas, but physically, I was
There was no fucking chance I
I
was
was
doing anything else.
done.
And honestly,
Cole went to Atlas though, because she's a trooper.
I rush packed the car because obviously the fucking Popo was there and we needed to get that shit done. So I rush packed the car and I knew when we got home that shit needed to be unpacked or it wasn't going to get unpacked, and it would not be nice if it didn't get unpacked.
No.
So got home, got that all done, and we were just fucking absolutely done.
I was a weird combination of wired, excited, but physically wrecked.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mr. Graham, we're not going to do an injury time tonight, but I want you to go ahead and talk about the drink that you poured for us.
Yeah, so it's a canned cocktail. It is a dark and stormy. So traditionally trademarked, that is Gosling's ginger beer with Gosling's rum, Black Seal
I'm
rum.
sorry, I drank mine too fast. Can I have more?
Sure. This one happens to be flavored black cherry. You're right. 7% by volume. It's just a good little dark and stormy.
Not medicinal either with the
No.
cherry.
No. Hey, Graham. You're lucky I fucked with the black cherry.
She stole my line. That's exactly where I was going to go.
Had to get it out before you did.
I didn't even think about it when I grabbed it.
I did very much enjoy with Hiram and his crew because they're Gen Z to break out a reference that was literally like 5 years before them that they didn't get. Like I was like, "Oh, you never saw that video? I saw that video. You should probably check out that video."
And then next thing you know, he went,
'Cause they were
"Damn, Daniel, back again with the white
Because
van."
they were drinking Trulies, and I'm just doing stuff like, "Man, you drink Trulies? You're probably into missionary." And they're like, "Where's that from?" I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Dude, Hiram and I had a blast talking shit back and forth. It was pretty good.
Oh, especially with Jasleen, you were just doing the calling her Kim, and then
She kept walking around like we fan.
then calling her Beyonce.
Looked all
and-
posh and shit.
Oh, it was fucking fabulous.
It was
Absolutely
fucking.
fabulous.
They showed up. It was a lot of fun fucking with them.
So I want to kind of reserve we're going to wrap it up now. So boys and girls, this is it, and I want to do parting words. But the parting words I kind of want to do is I want to throw them to each of you to kind of talk about your experiences and what you thought of the day as a whole. So Graham, you go first, please.
I thought the day was absolutely fucking amazing. It was wonderful to actually be able to work a room because I didn't have skin in the game.
Yeah.
You know, the Arsenal-Everton game last year was a ton of fun, and it was wild, but we had these press passes. We had this, all this stuff back and forth. My wife was there. My kid was, neither kid was there. There was just a lot I had to do that day.
You did have a kid. Your wife was there. She was really drunk. Thank you, Brody, for giving her all the Tito's and soda.
Yeah. So we got in a fight that night. It was
That was Brody.
But it was we there was so much to do surrounding that. So not having to worry about watching my team was helpful for this, I think.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It was a blast. Everybody that I met was sound. Just great people, good banner, good fun. All the hashtag bants were flowing. It was awesome.
What does bants mean?
Yeah, somebody asked me that, and then their very British new friend was standing there and went, "It means ba." Never heard anything so Love Island sounding in my life.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I love it.
but it was good. It was awesome. Everybody was super nice. Everybody down for talking shit, and it was good. I think it was well received. I think it was a lovely event. I think we all. It, like you said, exactly that, reverted into our roles and how we behave.
Right.
And you know what? The fucking terrific trio here, because we do it very differently, but it's all seemingly well received.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think we did a great job personally. And kudos to us. But everybody, thank you all so much for coming out. That was just an amazing turnout, and I really hope that people do check the show out. I really hope that they do that. You were, brazen enough to drink all of our beer, so
don't
it's the least you could do.
Don't make me cry. When I check those download numbers, if there's not a significant punch, I will cry.
She will, and I'll have to deal with it.
Right. But from my perspective, it was an overall great day.
Yeah.
Everybody was super nice. Everybody was super fun. Everybody put up with my shit because I do shit.
Yeah, you are who you are. You talk a lot of shit.
Fucking great.
Understand that all the shit you talk is completely in love.
Oh, of course. A couple people got back on me, which was excellent, and I loved it. I loved everything about it.
That is your love language.
Oh,
I've known
100%.
you forever, and
Big
that's
time.
what it is. You talk shit.
Big time.
And Sammy, if people were so inclined to want to support the show, what is a great way that they can do it?
You can jump on the Patreon, which is patreon.com/DU Football Show, or you could buy something from the Drip Shack, and that link is in all of our social media bios at DU Football Show. Obviously, mash the subscribe button. At some point, we wouldn't mind trying to monetize YouTube, so follow us there, please.
Yeah, definitely. That
YouTube
would be
ad money's decent.
Very, very, very helpful. And we do tons of extra content, so it's not like we just take your money. We give you more hours of shows. So if you like
absolutely.
what we're doing, it's what we do.
Yep.
Mel, your parting words, please, because really, honestly, at the end of it all, the day was about you.
This honestly, it felt like, I know it was the Maryland Lions and the Capital Villains and DC Fulham and the South D Football Show, but honestly, guys, I took a page out of the Sam Graham book and made it all about me, at least in my own head. And
Wait a second, it was actually about me. Thank you very much.
It felt like a debutante ball. Like
justifiably so.
It felt like my coming out party because nobody knew who I was before this weekend, and now everybody knows who I am, and I'm so happy for it. I feel like I finally have a Villa family, a football family to call my own. And I loved sharing my origin story with everybody and meeting everybody from where you're from. And I lied earlier when I said last shot of Malort because everyone, it was such a great experience. And I look forward to the season and up the fucking Villa.
Atta girl.
Give me a little touch of that.
Malort?
Yeah.
See, it's you changed us.
That's good.
All right, well, they just give me the fucking bottle. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, you fuckers. God, it doesn't get any better.
Now, like, subscribe, and share with a footballing friend.
Mel,
Yes.
also, Graham mentioned the Drip Shack, but there is something very specific that I know some of the female Villa fans
Every
asked
woman
about.
I ran into saw my Villanista shirt and said, "Where do you get that?" And I went, "Hey, I sell them." So I'll be sharing the link out. And if you're listening to this now, DU Drip Shack, get your new World Full of Arsehole shirt and get your Villanista shirt and all the DU Drip Shack swag.
Yep, that is pinned. Our link tree is pinned to every single one of our socials. Very easy to find. We have tons of stuff to offer. And again, if you're so inclined to support, by listening, you're supporting. But if you want to help in any other way, honestly, that helps pay for the equipment. It helps pay for the streaming. It helps pay for when we do the top 20 whiskeys, and we share that with our listeners as well. So anything you can do obviously helps. Again, this was an excellent day for people to understand what a football community is.
100%.
And I told Mel before this all started.
And Cole, Lindsay, and I want to thank you too for supporting our Villanista dreams.
And for me, it's not an I told you so moment. It's, hey Mel, I told you so. You're gonna have a family now. And what's awesome is your family is nothing like Graham's family.
No,
It's nothing like my family.
No, because we win.
Yeah, it is. Settle the fuck down, woman. You've been relegated. We haven't in the Premier League.
You know,
We're still here now. Fuck off. I'm trying to be nice.
You know, one thing that somebody mentioned, we spoke about how a few of the British people said that they had, a massive cultural week, essentially, right? Especially in Maryland, and wanting to see what an American tailgate is, because they don't do that there. And
excellent. Thank you for bringing that up, by the way, Graham. We almost forgot to.
But picking Maryland crabs, like all that kind of stuff, right? That's quite famous.
Not paying for museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just such a lovely day. And one of them mentioned to me during that they were like, it's fun to go to football without having to look over your shoulder all the time.
Yeah, people aren't going to fuck with you.
They're not trying to fuck with you. They're not trying to fight you. They're not trying to get one over on you. They're not trying to do anything.
The exact opposite for the NFL here in this country, where there's fights and shit all the fucking time.
That's because lowest common denominator people all get together and get 2 beers down them, and they don't know how to act.
True.
But so I'm glad we were able to do that for everybody.
Pub in a parking lot. Like, what's a tailgate? It's a pub in a parking lot.
Yeah, essentially.
Also, does not go unrecognized that multiple people had told us that of all of the different cities they went to, hands down, DC Tailgate did it the fucking best.
Hey, guess what? It's because Maryland Lions, we fuck.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Jay fucks up. JK.
So just wrapping up the show real quick, there's a few housekeeping notes. If you're just first getting into the show, we absolutely would love to hear from you. Mr. Graham runs the Instagram. I run the Twitter. Mel keeps an eye. Yeah, exactly. Mel keeps an eye on the DU Football Show group. If you've joined the DU Football Show group, find out about Drunker United FC, which is our closed group where it's just fun, bants, fucking around, having a good time.
Yep.
The meme game is solid. Typically, whenever we say something stupid, there is normally at least 5 or 6 people who have a
Sam Graham meme generator.
Immediately.
It seems. I'm getting a lot of abuse on it recently.
We have been Piper Parried.
All deserved.
We have been Piper Parried way too much than any person should be. And if you know who Piper Parry is, you understand the meme. And from there, I want to say, as far as what we're going to be doing the rest of this week, on Thursday, we're going to be releasing a show, Getting to Know You with Burnley. We already recorded tonight with Brett, who was fucking phenomenal. And it's a great way to kind of learn about that club and learn about their supporters and everything about them and the very drastic change in culture that club has had over the past year. And we've also done one for Sheffield and Luton as well. And then on Tuesday, the 8th of August, we will have a live show on streaming. That Wednesday, it'll be up. We like to call it our 20 for 20. It's 20 clubs, 20 supporters. It's typically a 2.5-hour shit show because, honestly, we want to devote time to every single club who
that's
they bring
that's
in,
what sets us apart.
what's going on, who they brought in, what their expectations are for the season, and more importantly, where can you find watch parties? Who can you talk to? How can you become part of that community? Because especially here in the States, people are still finding their way. They're still learning to love a club. And that's one of the things we want to make sure we're fostering and bringing you into is we want you to have Mel's new family.
Put your club community first, but come join the Drunkard United community for just general fellow and ladyship.
Excellent.
See what I did there?
Okay.
I don't know.
It's weird.
It's the Malort.
Until next week, everybody.
Good night.